Alrighty, what's going on, guys? And this is gonna be another Patreon rec review. We got my main man, DS Leclerc, and he streams on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. So there he is. He's gonna be playing in purple here as the Georgians, and his opponent's gonna be Limaxo, playing in blue as the Franks. And we got a 1540 ELO rec review. Both of them actually neck and neck, one ELO apart. These guys are pretty much rivals here. So let's go ahead and take a look at this rec review. I'll probably be putting up I have a bunch of Patreon rec reviews to get through actually. And I'll put the best ones on YouTube. So if this is a good one, it'll go on YouTube. Simple as that. And it's one around 1500, which is nice. So this is what we're going to do, the quack. We're going to take a look at your Dark Age real quick. You're rocking the Georgians here, which is probably one of the best civs. And right away, at this level, you need to be thinking about the matchup. That's a bad boiler, but I think you know this too, so we're not going to spend too much time on that. We'll just laugh at you in the comment section. I'm going to have some guys, if this goes to YouTube, some guys in the comment section that will be like literally 400 ELO, and they'll say, I'm 400 ELO, and I can learn my board better than that. How is this guy 1500? That's going to be the main comment in the comments below for sure. But yeah, it's up to a decent start. No, nonetheless, got good scouting with the mule card. And a good job picking this woodline. It's actually the correct one. Why would you want this one over this one, you might ask? Overall, it's subjective, but this one is closer to the TC and it's near the berries. So for me, this is the obvious choice, and the quack agrees as well. So overall, good scouting, good Dark Age. Second boiler was much better. And you're going to go for the mill. The space in the mill is nice here, because in case you get any militia or men-at-arm come, it's easier to defend. That's why the space is played by some high-elo players, like someone like Hart loves to do the space. I like to do it every now and then. So it's pretty damn solid. So let's take a look at the matchup and let's think about it real quick. So Georgians versus Franks. We have probably the better scout rush, or at least the fastest scout rush. Franks also have a good scout rush, so it's not like we're going to dominate them. But then going into Castle Age, I don't want to play Knights against Franks. Why? Because they have a simply better Knight rush than we do. We have healing Knights, sure, but they essentially get Bloodlines for free. And they have a much cleaner boom with the free farm upgrades. Georgians takes them a while to get up to, like the fortified churches and set up their economy. They're a better late game civ. So I wouldn't want to play Scouts into Knights here. Instead, a really good approach is actually Scouts into CA. CA is generally speaking good into Knights and into Light Cav. So playing Scouts into CA is good. But here we go. We have a forward. And I can see that this game is taking a dark turn. So number one thing I want to talk about here before the forward comes in is we could be up a little bit earlier than 19 pop with Loom. Okay, we're actually 19 pop, no Loom. Okay, that's fair. That's fair enough. It's fine. It could still be done earlier with the Georgians. So if you want to get up earlier, it is possible. I can do like a 17 no Loom, but I think you can do 18 no Loom comfortably. But fine, 19 no Loom is solid. I thought you got Loom, so I was gonna scold you for that, but no, you're good on the Loom. That's fine. So overall, good start here. So the forward's coming in. This is going to be a very instructive game, because I think a lot of people died to forward at all levels. So let's see how you defend against this. So far, it's off to a good start. And this house will kind of protect your woodline. This is something I see a lot, and it's such a small thing, but it's worth pointing out. That house, you want to make it at the tip of the wood of this tree. This tree here, you want to make it at the diagonal tip. So why? You get the most space inside your walls, and this house will give you the most vision out here. You're basically scamming yourself 2-3 tiles of vision because you made that house so close to your woodline. Should be at the tip of that corner tree. That's how you get the maximum vision further away, and I always do that if you watch my games. Such a minor thing, but definitely worth pointing out. I like to squeeze in those little tips every now and then. And your opponent will just go ahead and wall up, and so now you see the tower rush. How do you react? He's gonna wall up near this and tower. I mean, honestly, this is nothing special. I agree with you. I think you just let him get this tower because it literally does not matter. You could try to counter tower and like force him off right away, but I think you made the right decision. I would play it exactly as you. And remember, always one spearman. Like, this is something I've discovered recently, but you always want to make one spear. It's really good. Just one spear would come out here. It defends against the scout. And it's just a good unit to have on the field, especially in these forward games where you don't know what he's going to have. And you want to have a unit out in the field to help you get the vision and help push away some vills if you need them. But nonetheless, you're going to go for the scout rush. I like that you committed to the stable. A lot of people would switch to skirm spear against tower rush. That is incorrect unless he's doing a skirm spear tower rush. Then you can go for skirms yourself. But in this case, he's just doing a pure tower rush, in which case scouts are actually way better than going for skirms. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up Town Watch. I like that choice. It's very solid. So far I like how you're playing it. Now you're gonna go for the defensive tower. I like that. It's a decent choice. Yeah, I like that. It's a pretty good choice. I would let your scouts move here, though. Especially with Georgians, you have healing scouts. Yeah, you're a bit slow to it. Definitely could have killed at least one Vil here. Might still be able to, but it's a bit late. Yeah, it could have pounced on that a little bit earlier, but overall your reaction is pretty good. And gonna go ahead and garrison the tower. So here you're making a crucial mistake. Let's pause the video here. This is gonna be a YouTube one. I can feel it. What's the mistake that Le Quack is doing? It's a very classic mistake. And there's a lot of people that say, this guy didn't particularly say that he struggles with tower rush, but a lot of people that do struggle with tower rush, or they say they struggle with tower rush, it's because they don't understand this concept, okay? So well, you can pause and take a couple seconds if you want to figure it out, but the mistake he's making is that he's wasting his army doing nothing, hitting this tower. When in reality, he invested stable, 175 res, 3 scouts plus original, so 3 scouts, 240 res, 240 food. That's a lot of investment. To just hit a tower, that's not enough. What you want to do instead, go hit your opponent. Take a look at what your opponent has. What does he have to defend against scouts? And beware, Georgian scouts that heal. If you run in here, at best, your opponent has to wall in the wood and wall in the berries. That's the best case scenario. The worst case scenario for your opponent is that you come in, he's still open, and you start harassing these Vils. You start killing, hitting, and running. Even if you don't kill Vils, just being able to force him to react and respond and have him to worry about his base instead of the tower rush that he's sending your way is so crucial. And this job here of hitting the tower can be done by villagers if you want to really hit the tower. But in this case, you don't need to hit the tower. You have your defensive tower, you're fine just for a little bit. And then when you want to rush it down, just send 5 Vils, rush it down with the Vils here. He has to go back to this tower, and then when he does that, you let him. So you have to attack with the scouts. You find damage, and you'll see that you'll force your opponent to do defensive spears. If he does defensive spears, it's less offense on you. So that, in my opinion, is a huge mistake. And if you lose this game, we're going to be looking back to this mistake. And even if you go attack now, it's too late. It's still worth doing it now, but it's way too late. And these are precious seconds you're wasting. Now you're going to finally go ahead and attack. We're about a minute and a half behind. Take a look at what our opponent has now. He gave him time for a barracks. Before he couldn't afford it, now he's got time for a barracks. Let's see what we can find. It's still a good play. So you thought of it eventually. But that should be like in your head right away. If you don't need the scouts at home, right away, send them forward. Immediately. And you really want to waste no time on that. And also, it should be the obvious play for you as well. And so here, just send 5 Vils. If you want to make a play and kill the tower, just send 5 Vils if you need to. Very simple. 5 Vils beat down a tower so fast. And there you go. You find some value. And take a look at this. 1 Vil down. Alright, you can go for more. Your Georgian scouts. You really let him do that. A guy walks into your house, and you let him walk out with $1,000 cash. You just hit him on the wrist a little bit, and then he walks out, and you just let him do it. How are we not fighting that? We gotta punish that. I talk about this a lot. That's why you guys have to have the killer instinct with your scouts. Now he gets the wall off. This is fine. Forcing the wall off is still good. So this is actually completely fine. But you made a mistake here, though. There should have been another Deadville at least. I think you should have killed all 3, to be honest with you. But that's fine. And one thing I'll say is, like, don't be afraid to really take advantage of the Georgian scouts. Like, you heal. Like, you can literally pull back the low HP scout, let the other 2 scouts fight. You heal. You really don't care to play perfectly with the Georgian scouts. Now you go for the range. This range makes no sense here. I'm being very, very harsh with this record review, but it's fine. I think it's worth doing it. This range makes no sense. So what's the game plan here? We have full vision of what our opponent's doing. The game plan should be, okay, we killed the Vil. Look at our opponent. He has like 5 farms. We have what? 12 farms. Who gets up faster to castlage? If we don't do anything stupid, who gets up faster to castlage? It's going to be us for sure, even if we have no gold. Like, we have gold here, but even if we have no gold, we just wall up if you want to, or like make a market. You don't have to even wall. Like, there's no threat. He's just making towers here. You just make a market, and you just get your way up to castlage. Farm, and 3 minutes will be up to castlage. This range is just going to slow you down. You only go for the range if you need to on defense. But in a tower rush, let me tell you a little secret here. In a tower rush versus tower rush, or tower rush versus defensive towers, usually the first guy to hit castlage is the guy who wins the game, especially in this scenario. Because if you get knights out on the field, when your opponent has no defenses at home, or if he gets knights out on the field and you have no defenses and he's making the stables forward, you will die. So he will die if you get the knights out faster, and you will die if he gets the knights out faster. And if you guys both get it at the same time, usually the guy who's forward will have the advantage, because his knights are forward, he's attacking you, and it's hard for you to attack him. Okay? That's a general rule of tower rush that you guys may have not been aware of. I think that could really help the mentality here. So for me, it's really simple. You did damage to the scouts, make a market, make some farms, get up to the next stage. And hey, you could even castle drop Manaspa. You know what I mean? You get into your really good options. So these archers that you're going for here is not going to make, like, it's not going to make a big deal for the game. It's not going to really change the game. And you're not even on gold, so it's going to be hard to afford them. You're now getting on gold. Bring some spears forward. So I guess the archers are going to be pretty decent at pushing back the spears. But again here, oh, this is horrible. It's on the other side. This is rough. Yeah, he's got no farms. He's got no farms. But like you'll see, like the archers are gonna be good against the spears, but like, the spears are doing nothing to us. Like nothing's really happening to us. So the goal should be to get the castle here. But okay, we go for a few archers. Listen, it's not like you can't win from here. Let's go ahead and use them and go for the counterattack. I think you should still hard win this game from here. He hasn't done a whole lot. You've killed 3 villagers off of him. Really good job, by the way, on the Vil snipes there. I didn't comment. I do want to comment on the good stuff as well. And good job going for the counterattack here. It must be noted, you know. You gotta note the good stuff. I'm gonna force him, get him off the mining camp, and take a look at this. He might actually be fast at a castle, and probably like he used the market completely. By the way, just sold all his wood, bought the food. Not even on gold, and he's about to click up the castle, which is criminal, criminal. Gonna kill another couple of villas. That's very good. You're good with your army, man. You're good with your army. It's really good. Forcing another tower here. Yeah, so this should be a very easy game. Very easy from now on. So we're gonna go up to castle edge. Let's keep the plan as simple as possible. You made the plan a little harder by going for that archer range, but at least you used the archers. At least you got value with it. So I give you a lot of respect for that, okay? But now let's go back to the win condition, the game plan. George and Manaspa are busted. They are probably one of the best units in this matchup, or in any matchup. So what I'm thinking here is we get up to castle edge, we drop a castle, clear up the towers, get back our main gold, and then we can go Manaspa. Then I'd want a church on maybe the gold and stone, or maybe the farms and stone, or the wood and gold like here. And then we pick up relics while controlling the game with Manaspa. As a stock standard game plan that is simple, it's effective. There's no reason not to go for that. And there should be 0 chance to lose this game. I would give you like 1% chance to lose this game. Because how would we lose? We have a castle on defense, we have monks on defense, we have Manaspa, which is better than the Frank Knight. How would we lose? Manaspa is cheaper than the Frank Knight as well. So there's very little chances to lose this game. Castle on the front. It doesn't have to be touching the tower. Actually, it's a bit too close to the tower. Yeah. Yeah, that's better. Okay. That's better. You learned the lesson in real time there. Yeah, that's good enough. Yeah, again, you clear up the towers. Get you back your gold. And now you're going to go for... You're going for a few knights. 2 stable knights. Again, why would you want 2 stable knights when you have Manaspa here? Like, isn't Manaspa the best unit to get to? Like, you have a castle. And in general, we don't want Georgian Knights versus Frank Knights. Because like I said, the Frank Knights get bloodlines for free. And they actually scaled, like, better. So, it's not like we're using our full bonuses in this situation. Manaspa's way better. Now we're going to switch to Manaspa. So, fair enough, fair enough. Okay, just a few knights, just in case. And then Manaspa. That's fair. I don't mind that. But now we should just switch to full Manaspa. And let them take care of everything. I would, by the way, just a general advice. If you're going to go knights, I would make sure that we clear this up. It's 5 bills. It's annoying. I would just swarm the houses in Palestine with all these knights. Like, I like that you counterattack, but the Manaspa that come out, for example, these ones, instead of sitting here, just swarm this. It's going to do a lot of good for you. It's going to take it off your mind. It's going to kill the vills, prevent any nonsense and BS from happening. I think it's very good to do that. So I recommend, instead of just idling here, a nice little trick is just put your gather point near his forward base and clear it up. Like, make sure it's 100% gone. You shouldn't clear it up with your initial knights. That was good to counterattack. That was actually really good. Put the pressure on your opponent fast. But with the reinforcements, while they're waiting around, it's definitely good to do that. So next step. Okay, next step. Church, town center. What's the plan here? Maybe market? Like, you got 700 gold. Gotta spend that. Good pressure with the knights again. You seem to be very good with your military. I like that. And this, I want to see that cleared up. We're going to times 2 speed here as we're just kind of chilling around. Sending the Manaspa forward. Alright. More farms. Pretty good. Yeah, keep running with the knights. Good. I don't know what our opponent is doing, to be honest. Like, I'm really surprised. It feels like you're a much better player than your opponent here. Like, you're playing the game correctly. It feels like he's kind of just like hoping you make so many mistakes to win this game. Like, I don't know what this guy's regular game looks like, but if it looks anything like this, you would have to make a lot of mistakes to win. Because he's not even like, he's like floating a lot of wood. He's not really like following this up correctly, you know? Yeah, getting in. I like that you're making your presence known. At this point, by the way, don't be shy. Like, get under the TC. You have +1 armor? Yeah, +1 armor is enough. You just get under the TC, like, hit those extra builds, you can just kill them all. But I like what you're doing. Pressuring, hitting the stable. Yeah, you're clearing this. That's very good. I like that. Again, you can just swarm it with your extra knights. Extra Manaspa at home. Going around to the gold. You're doing a good job, actually, of hopping back and forth. It's really interesting. But I think you're being like... Okay, no. I'm going to make you a much better player right here, bro. You got 18 units here, 18 cav units. You're gonna have to kill that tower. You're gonna have to dive the town center and just sit underneath it. Don't let your opponent get away with this. This is nonsense. There we go. There we go. And I'm just surprised. This should be obvious to you. You know what I mean? This should be obvious to everyone watching that this is the correct play. Dive the vills. You can only fit 15. Dive the vills. Exactly. There we go. Town bus starts being rung. There we go. Don't let your opponent get away with nothing at home. I see this time and time again. You guys are making military and you're letting your opponent get away with nothing. I would even sit there and start hitting this TC, by the way. +2 armor's in, I just sit there and hit the TC. Keep the 15 bills idle forever. And this is causing us a lot of problems back here. That's why I like to just swarm that as much as I can. Why are you making knights, by the way? Just make full Manaspa. Manaspa is way better than knights. Way better. It's cheaper. Has more attack. It's way better. More armor. Has less HP, but... Yeah, this is just a disaster. At this point, we can just fast forward. The game is done. I like they went for 3 TC, but please make the church. Yeah, 4 TC. Make the church, please. Like 3 TC and 1 church is how you want to play it. The church is a huge bonus for the Georgians. Let's take a look at what it does. I don't have the texture here. It's capture rate, but basically it gives you a work rate boost of I think like 10% or 8% in a 8 or 10 tile radius, something like that. I get the numbers mixed up, but yeah, it gives you a work rate in a pretty big radius. And it's a monastery that can pick up relics. You know what I mean? So it's absolutely huge to pick up that church. So I think 3 TC and a church. And then you can go for the 4 TC. And then once you have 4 TC, you can start making churches everywhere. But definitely make use of that church. And if you have the choice to make Manaspa or Knights as Georgians, always make Manaspa. It's a very classic Georgians situation there. But yeah, very good game. 1500. I don't often review games at around this level, but I think this is a game that a lot of people can learn from how to defend the tower rush, how to stay safe from it, and how to punish the tower rush. In this case, our opponent didn't really have the best follow-up, but again, we could have punished a lot better. If you look back around here, so we attack around 12 minutes. Yeah, we attack around 12 minutes. As soon as he gets the tower up, I would send the scouts forward. So right here, boom, scouts go forward. 11, 20. We wait till... We lose the scout, first of all. We lose the scout and wait till 12 minutes to start going out. So we're 45 seconds late. So you're going to hit at 12:30. So if we hit 45 seconds earlier at 11:45, our opponent would have nothing. He doesn't even have enough for barracks. If we hit, our scouts would be literally here at 11:45 if we send them right away. No barracks. It's so easy to punish this. See that? And yeah, that's going to be the main point to highlight from this replay. Thank you so much for watching those on YouTube. If you guys want to be part of these rec reviews, you can check out my Patreon. I've got this service. I've got tons of other things on Patreon like guides, build orders, color-coded PDF, exclusive guides, videos spanning 40 minutes, 20 of them, all my secrets revealed, very in-depth how to understand the game. It's not meant for beginners exactly, but if you want to understand the game, if you're interested in that, definitely check out the Patreon. There's a lot of good stuff there. And then check me out on Twitch if you guys want to catch my live streams. Links to both in the description below. And as always, thank you so much for watching on YouTube, and have a good one. Peace.